Hello, how are you? So, I call you to tell you a little bit of a story one time that happened, and I want to share it with you, to see what you was doing and tell you about this because, sometimes it bothers me. And since you ain't got nothing else to fuck to do with your life, I guess I'll bother you. So anyway, to keep everybody from suing my ass in the future, I'll just rearrange the names and the location. So I'm gonna tell you, and the thing is that I was wrong. Sometimes in relationships and stuff like that, you can admit that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? As you grow up, you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't grow up the same. Everybody don't learn to do the same. Like for me, I had daddy issues growing up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted my daddy. Listen, I love my daddy down now. I love my daddy down. My daddy motherfucker crazy. I talked to him today. That's my daddy. He who the fuck he is. And I love my daddy. But in that time period of my life, being young, I had daddy issues. So for me, it was vice versa. Some men, some gay men, for me, or from what I've experienced as well, they kind of grow into like being very sexually free and liberal and things like that. Not me. I was really angry with men because on top of it, I had STD. I had HIV at 19, 20 years old. So I was very aggressive towards men. Very, very, very aggressive. Like a pit bull. So I didn't keep many boyfriends around me. Need to say. But again, I was yet still sweet, and it was a long story, but I had a very much of an anger issue in a way. Well, this is in the past because sometimes you got to see what you've grown from, and in a way I've grown very much. So I can say no. I will claim that I have grown very, very much. Cause bitch, if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here talking to your motherfucking ass. So I have grown, and you probably have too. I know for me, I've grown though to be 37. So anyway, I won't tell you about this story. We're going back to the story. But anyway, every time I call you, I get off a track. You know what I'm saying, bitch? This is why I don't like calling you, hoe, because you get my motherfucking nerves. Anyway, so I had a guy that I met one time. I'm telling you. And I be wanting to tell him so bad, cool. Sometimes I be wanting to just, like you can see when you was stupid though. And it's not to say like, oh, I want him back and nothing like that. Like, no, bitch, I'm okay. Okay, listen, right now I'm trying to get my credit back right. I'm trying to go look. I'm trying to be grown. Like I ain't finna whatever. So, but it needs to say, you could think back over times that, you was with like a good person, but you didn't know they was good because you had already been fucked up a little bit and you had security issues or like shit was just really going on really bad. And I went on face life. It was just like I was going through really bad. And I met a person. He was just y'all. He was so sweet. He was a good guy. And the thing was that, for me being my family was very religious. Very, this is the church of God in Christ. This is the church of God in Christ. Before you can join in, you got to be born again. This is the church of God in Christ. Literally, type of like religious. So, and for me to be gay, I already knew it was really tough. Like, my mama wasn't really going for this and that. So, but this guy, she actually liked, and he had a good heart. But I didn't realize that I really should have been more of a supportive of a friend at the time. And to be honest, I was really mean to the man. You know what I'm saying? I was so mean to the man, y'all. So mean. For no reason. But I know why now, being grown, like, 10 years later. 15 years later, I know why I was grown, I'm grown now. Mainly because I was mad because I had lost stuff and trying to rebuild. And, he was like built more of a kid and he needed support that I didn't have. And, I thought I could be that support. But in my own shit, I found out that I was overloaded and trying to tote this and then other things had happened too. Some things I ain't gonna say because I ain't gonna say the bad about he had faults and they put a lot of strain on me. Put a lot of strain on me. And but he was a good guy. He was a good guy. My mama liked him. And I was so mean to him. And I be wondering sometimes, like, I really fucked over that man. If I had did that man right, I want to be the bald head hoe I am right now. Thank God I made it through. Thank God I'm still cute. Oh my God. Just think about the shit I did before my pants. Oh my God. I was so mean. I was so mean. I was so mean because I was so fucking. I was a nigga. I was a motherfucking orange man. Towards that man, he was so sweet. He was so cute, and I really feel like if I could ever find him, I'd do it again. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I got to. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm finna say this. Okay, so what's happening? This is the last time. So the last time we had an interaction, we had got to who was in Memphis? He was in Memphis. Some Memphis shit. I ain't gonna say that was Memphis shit. We had got to fight this shit, and we was down we was riding down the street. And my daddy. Listen, this is a personal moment right now. I'm gonna tell y'all this story. This is so personal moment. So my dad, we was riding down the street. And my dad, I was bad. I was like, man, I was going off. I don't get no fuck. I'm in the front seat popping. I'm mad. You know what I'm saying, man. My daddy came picked us up. Whatever. So my daddy had forgot his teeth at home. So he had no teeth in his mouth at this time. He had like he had like a honey jitters or something like that. Real nice guy. So it was a lot going on that day. Like, hold on. So he was yelling at me to stop yelling at him. And then he was in the back seat. He was mad. He was yelling back at me. It was just a lot. So I got mad and I turned around. I turned around like literally in the traffic, and I turned around. I just, that was wrong, so wrong. It was something I think was by rent or bills. I don't know. It was something going on. It was a lot going on. Anyway, I turned around and I jolted and I punched him, and my daddy yanked the car into a Taco Bell, and it was just became a whole. And more of it was so embarrassing. I was like, oh my God, my daddy don't have no teeth in. We out here on the street. He just so ghetto, like so mad right now. Like, oh my God, and you worry about your video game? Like, I was so mad. But needless to say, I handled the situation so fucking wrong. So fucking wrong. Because sometimes I can go back and take accountability and say I did some things like that. And to tell you that, I tell you like this, like, be aware of how you treat people. Like, if you're young, you out there, this point in the store, so, I'm like, it's like Uncle too. That's why I call you, call y'all. And, like, be aware, like, you especially you young, like, you can get older one day. You're going to get fucking older. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. You going to get older, fuck you. Okay, fuck your dusty ass. You getting older. You get older like we is, okay? We going to get old one day. And you have to understand, like, you have to be aware of how you treat people because, that's all things that come back when you get older and as you grow up as an individual, you're going to fuck up, But like times like that, you learn from it. My learning from that experience was I would never, because he didn't do anything to deserve it. It'd be different if a person had really like did something to deserve it. But me, I was angry. And I was in a space where I could support him. And he was really innocent. He was an innocent bystander of my anger. And it was not fair. And I never got a chance to apologize. I didn't, because he walked with me. He never talked to me again, And who could blame him? I was, and I had said some stuff. I ain't gonna say everything I feel, because it was, oof. And I mean, I get it, things with that. And I mean, some things we talked about, we tried. But at the same time, I handled the situation wrong. And I really wish I wouldn't have, because looking back at it after, therapy and growing up and, having different experiences and learning different shit, I learned that there was an experience in my life that it's like so crazy, even though I'm like 37 now, and it was like a long time ago. To this time, like almost 10 years ago, I still be feeling like sometimes, like, even though, things okay and whatever worked out, I'd be like, man, I really wish I hadn't did that, And it's moments like that you're not proud of yourself. You know what I'm saying? But in the sense, it makes you human to say like, be aware. In a way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You give it to motherfucker that deserve it. But you don't give it to nobody, that because you're broken on the inside. Because you're broken. So since you're broken, you know, since you're broken, everything else is, you know, you know, just up for grabs. And that's not fair. And I was going through a lot of pain too. Death and stuff like that happened. So, and it wasn't a good time. It was a good time, but he didn't deserve that. You know, he did shit too. But more sport is, more of the story is trying to say, be aware of how you treat people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Be independent. You know what I'm saying? Bitches always gonna talk shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you gonna fuck up sometime. You know what I'm saying? You gonna do some dirty shit, but don't do nothing too dirty. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like that. Don't put your hands on nobody you ain't got to. You know what I'm saying? Like, abusive situations ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm a little different. I'm not supporting nothing else. I'm not supporting no abuse, nothing like that. But if you gotta hit to maintain y'all love, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? You can have communication. And at that time period, I was young, and that wasn't the way to go. And it was so stupid. Would I do it? No, never now. Never now. Never now. Never now. Never now. So, yeah. So, I don't know if I would ever find him one day. Maybe. I look for him sometime. To be honest, I do. I look for him sometime. I look for him sometime. Because I just, not that I want him bad. No, but it's not deep. It's okay. We all right. I want him back. Just to say, like, listen, I'm really sorry. I am really, really sorry. I was wrong. That shit was really fucked up. And I was very angry. I was not in a good space. And, should I have dragged you through that? That wasn't... You had your own shit. I know your shit. And your shit was deep, deep, And in a way, I was your escape. And I didn't... I agreed to be that escape. And it got to be, more of an overload, but my reaction was completely wrong, and I just be like, I'm sorry if it like caused like hurt to harm, because I know it did, because I know you see, that man loved me. I'm telling you, bitch, if I don't know nothing else, that man loved me. That man did love me so much. He loved me. I know he did, but my thing was, because what, bitch, I'm very different, so I know like I was technically his first like boyfriend. I would never divulge anything because, I don't believe in that. This is just my experience speaking for me. But I was his first like boyfriend. So it was a lot of experience. And it was okay. It was. I was just in a very bad place. Mentally, financially, physically, in a way. And you know, because some people, sometimes you're strong. Sometimes we always say, as black folks, we don't look like what we go through. Some of the strongest bitches out there that look really good and holding up, hoes be really going through on the inside, and you will never know. You know what I'm saying? Till one day it pop. Where all of us is, and it's the thing is like that's why we need therapy. We need to be able to vent, be able to talk, be able to let it out. Be able to express ourselves, because it's very important. That's very important. And share like those experiences. Because it's what helps us grow. Because the strongest motherfuckers be out there, like really be just, whew. And they make it look so easy. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of the black community does. From my understanding, we all do that. Just not us too, but most people, a lot of people do it every day. It's like it's one of my old friends used to say. She said it's adulting, real shit. But I would never want to do that again. And at some time, it's okay. But I guess I call you tonight, and I told you about it. So one day, maybe, I'm not have to like. I'm not big at searching for him. Like I'm not okay. I don't search for him like that. Okay, it's important. Listen, I love me. It ain't that. Like if he know I'm here. I don't know if he could my line anytime. But he probably would think I would be still angry because I made him feel like he did something too. But anyway, I shouldn't did that. And so, just more of the story is just like, be aware because, I look back and be like, man, still got to be like, man, because it's another human being. Guy was going through shit, and I didn't notice that I was young. Now I'm older and like, go through fucking, classes and conferences and shit, mental shit. And I'm up here like, oh my God, that was so wrong. God damn, I ain't supposed to do that shit. And it was. But thing is, for me, good thing is about this, guess what? Good thing about it is that I noticed it. And I'm willing to, be accountable and be able to recognize that. See? And that plays back in part two of, learning and growing. You're never too old to fucking learn or have experiences. Yeah, I heard too. Shit, fuck you. I love you though.